And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Happy for you to be here every Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate your patience here this morning. And we have a very special edition of DT and Murphy coming up for you today. Murph and our schedule did not align yesterday. Murph was too busy for us. No, we're kidding. So Murph is on the show here this morning, and so he's going to be with us in hour number one. And we'll be talking about the college football playoff, which a week ago, Murph and I were discussing on the day of the college football playoff. Wake Up Call was live on site, on location in Atlanta, Georgia for the college football playoff national championship last week. And that's the last time Murph and I spoke. And now we are here and back at home and happy to be here. Great Lakes Honda City Studios, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. And for new and used vehicles of all different shapes and sizes, find your way over to Honda City of Liverpool is what you knew it as, and Great Lakes Honda City is what it's become. So they've been partnered with us for over a decade. And Great Lakes Honda City, the former Honda City of Liverpool, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. New and used vehicles from the Honda Pilot to the Odyssey to the Ridgeline, the Accord, the Civic, the HRV, the CRV, the Prologue, and more. You'll get it all right there at Great Lakes Honda City, and you can find out more by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. Of course, you're with us on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, inside of monpauspopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We're going to start the show off with Murph speaking on the college football playoff national championship, as well as the NFL playoffs, and we'll get into hour number two in an all-new Bearcat Breakroom. You know that Binghamton University is an exclusive multimedia marketing partner of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they'll be with us at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is Bearcat time, weekly on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., and we will have Lauren Kuzma joining the show once again. Lauren coming to us from the Binghamton Bearcat swimming and diving team, following a wonderful day for her in their senior meet. So we'll talk with Lauren about that and so much more, and then we'll round out the show with the ingredients to success, proudly presented by the fantastic team at Avicolli's on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road. And this topic for today is the energy you let in. So with that being said, Murph is with us picture in picture, and this is the first time that Murph and I have publicly gotten to speak together about the college football playoff national championship. So Murph, welcome first and foremost, and secondly, thoughts on the chip.
Good to be here on a Tuesday morning. Just to set the record straight, I had a very important training for work yesterday.
Yes.
TaylorMade flew out one of the top fitters from the kingdom, and we got a full day of training with him, which was awesome. A bunch of us from our market went out and had a drink afterwards and had dinner, so which was really nice. So we got to pick his brain a little bit. So Dwayne, if you are listening, I thank you very much for coming out and sharing some of your enormous wealth of knowledge with us. It's going to make all of us better fitters because of it, and I'm going to relay that information to my team as well. But yeah, and speaking of Great Lakes Honda City, I might be in the market for a used truck, so this might need to take a ride up and see what they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need something bigger for work. Ideally, it's going to be either a Chevy Colorado or a Toyota Tacoma. Trying to find a used one in the right price range that isn't like doesn't like have 100,000 miles on it. But I've been looking into that for the last couple of weeks. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna need it yet, based on what I need to bring with me, but we'll see. Just thought I might throw that out there in case they're listening.
Yeah. You're going to have to find your way to a
No,
ridge
but
line. Talk to my dad about the ridge line. I think you'd like that one. So,
I've seen the Ridgeline. A friend of my dad has one, and it's interesting. I've never driven it, so I don't know really how it is. I know it gets better gas mileage than a Tacoma or a Colorado. Um, I don't know. It's just like my thing always with a truck has always been like ideally I want a Chevy. Like that's ideally what I would like to get. Um, American made, everybody loves a Chevy. But a Tacoma's been like the one of the best bang for your buck mid-sized trucks that you can find. But I'm going to keep looking. I'm not overly in a rush right now. I mean, unless I stumble across something that's just perfect. Um,
Yeah.
but as far as the playoff game goes, until the fourth quarter, that game was terrible, like borderline unwatchable. I mean, I said on the show, my heart wanted Notre Dame,
Yeah.
but my brain was telling me Ohio State.
Yeah.
My brain was definitely right. I mean, it's the same thing with the games on Sunday. It's like my brain was telling me it was going to be Chiefs Eagles. My heart wanted Bills Commanders,
Yeah.
which unfortunately we didn't get, but we'll get into that later. Um, but yeah, I mean, Ohio State did everything they needed to do in order to win that football game, and Notre Dame made it close late, but it was just a case of too little, too late at the end. You got to give them a lot of credit though, and I think Ohio State did that very very classy by them. To give Notre Dame as much credit as they were doing. It seemed like every single player and coach they talked to after the game was giving praise to Notre Dame and how well they played. Because realistically, it's a long season.
Yeah.
These guys had a long last couple of weeks, and I mean they're not used to 4 consecutive weeks of playoff games.
No.
That's very unusual for college football. So it was fun at the end. Obviously, I was rooting for Notre Dame to come back and hold them off, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But I mean, Ohio State did what they needed to do. They just did, and they also lost their defensive coordinator after the season to their one of their biggest rivals in the Penn State Nittany Lions,
Yeah.
stealing their defensive coordinator. So I'm sure Penn State feels pretty good about that. So Penn State did win something by Ohio State winning the national championship.
Yeah, Penn State, I mean, allegedly, and I got to interview Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator of Ohio State, going into this game. And allegedly, the number was pretty grand for him. It was around the ballpark of $3.2 million per season from Penn State, allegedly, that was the amount of money that they were going to give him to leave and come to a rival place. And what a move by Penn State to say, okay, well, you're the D coordinator that figured out how to beat the nation. You were in the CFP. You won the national championship. We were in the CFP. We didn't get as far as you did. We lost to the team that you beat. So how about we pay you to help us win a championship after you just figured out how to do it there? So, I mean, pretty interesting. I wonder what that's going to be like for Knowles when Penn State plays Ohio State. But, good opportunity for him. A little bit sad for my buddy. I just had a Duke Pettyjohn on the show, Syracuse Orange defensive end alum, and his son, Riley Pettyjohn, who was recruited all over the country, decided on Ohio State, and the family went to the games and celebrated and got to see this whole run, even though Riley is not officially on the roster until for this past coming season, but will be for 2025-26. The family went out and they enjoyed it, and he was going to be coached by Jim Knowles. So now a new D coordinator is going to be coming in there to coach Riley and the crew, and hopefully it'll be a good fit for Ryan Day in Ohio State. But I wanna speak on two different things. One, the college football playoff. The other one is it was crazy when you mentioned Chevy and all these other brands that weren't Honda. The call dropped, so we weren't able to get any of that. But beyond that, to move forward from
Well,
there,
I said used. I didn't say new.
yeah. So
Listen, Honda dealers, Toyota dealers, they all have, not their brand of cars that are on their lot that are used. So they might have a couple that are used.
Yeah.
I can't afford a new one.
Yeah.
A new truck is like $40,000. I can't afford that.
Yeah. So shout out to Great Lakes Honda City. We took care of you here, made sure that call was fed through correctly. So, but looking at the college football playoff and experiencing the national championship, it was really, and I've spoken on this. It was, and I got asked yesterday. I was talking with Jimmy Delia because we did a live show at Pizza Man with the Baldwinsville Bees boys basketball team in their 2024-25 season. I want to thank head coach Tom Brown and everybody at Beeville. I want to thank the families. I want to thank the kids. I had an awesome time speaking with Ben and MJ and Tiernan, really awesome young men, and really hope that they have some type of leadership in the future, because their messages came across with a lot of beauty, a lot of kindness, a lot of equality, a lot of goodness, and it's just good to see that. And the community of Beeville did a tremendous job, and I want to mention this once again. There was an apartment fire, and Tiernan mentioned this. A few days ago, there was an apartment fire, and, obviously people lost things. And the next day, the Baldwinsville community and anybody from outside communities as well, came together and did this drive. Like, hey, if you can give something, give something. And they got such a tremendous amount of things donated and volunteers there that it was absolutely incredible. And just to know that this Central and Upstate New York community that I love so dearly was willing to help each other and get nothing from it outside of the desire to give and to pay it forward. I just want to say thank you for showing us that in 2025 and continuing to show us that there are good people in this world, which I know. And I hope that people know that too now. And I hope that those that are recovering from everything that happened in Baldwinsville, in LA, in New Orleans, and so on and so forth, that you are safe and sound and you are well. Everybody in the Middle East, everybody in Ukraine and overseas and whatnot. So my prayers go out to everyone. But this community here in Central and Upstate New York, the Baldwinsville community, stepped up in a massive way. And I just want to say thank you that you gave your time, your energy, and, that you gave of what you could to provide for these families. So that's a really beautiful thing to see in this world, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So I want to thank you. Getting back to college football, so Jimmy and I were talking last night at Pizza Man, and he was like, did you have any crazy thing that happened? And I was like, it's just the experience was amazing, and being on the field was great, and I did a thing called Faith on the Field, and that was the most watched video that I did for the national championship, which made me happy because it was about the players and the coaches talking about God. There was something really interesting that happened, and if anybody didn't see it on my social media, there's God in this very much so. God is in my life all the time, 24/7, and my badge was wrong at the college football playoff. It was missing that I could go down for pregame. So normally I go down for pregame, shoot video, and I was there a couple weeks ago for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. So I had to get it fixed. So I just went up and said, hey, this is supposed to say this. The woman told me to come here and just get it fixed, whatever. So no big deal. And I was waiting, and it was 20, 30 minutes. I was right by the door, and I was wearing my suit. I didn't have any of my stuff. It was upstairs. My head was freezing. And so I was kind of walking around just trying to keep myself warm. And the gentleman comes out. He gives me my new badge. So I had waited. Now, I go out onto the field after waiting. If I had been on the field when I wanted to get on the field originally, this would have never happened. So I get out onto the field. I walk forward. I've only been on the field for a couple minutes. Guy walks toward me talking with one of the workers. And I walked up to him, and I see media people looking at him. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to this guy. I got one shot in my life. I don't know if I'm ever going to see him again. So I walked right up to him, introduced myself, thanked him for playing the role that he was playing and for representing the way that he is, took a picture with him, and then shook his hand again and said, God bless you in everything you do. Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America. So that was pretty insane. And then my mom was like, the guy you took a picture with, every single commercial was about him. And she's like, his movie's coming out. I was like, yeah, I know. So I got to meet both Captain Americas in my life. And within the last 2 years, I met Chris Evans, and now I met Anthony Mackie. And I always say that I have the Captain America complex, and that I always want to help people, and I never want to see evil succeed. And also because of the way that I date and chivalry and all that stuff. And I feel like, do people want a guy that's like that anymore? So it was very ironic that I met them. So yeah, before the game even started, I shook hands with Captain America, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty darn cool, buddy. Yeah. Now, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it on the show last week. Were you ever able to make it out to Cards HQ?
So I wasn't, because of the timing of the next day.
Oh,
so I went to sleep after the national championship game, I went to because I did media hospitality, so I ate. They gave us awesome food, and I got into this full-bodied massage chair, which was crazy. And so I did that at like 2 a.m. And then I lost my hat and I couldn't find it. They turned it into some media person who never turned it in apparently, and or they did it to the wrong person. I have no idea. So I lost my winter hat. Got back to my hotel at 3 a.m. and then I had to pack and whatnot. So I went to bed at 5. So I allowed myself to sleep until 11 so that I wasn't, because I'm still getting over being sick too. So I slept until
Yeah.
11 and then I woke up, got my Tin Lizzy's nachos for a second time, and then I went to the airport. And so I didn't really have any wiggle room to get. I had like an hour to eat, and so that was really all that I had there. But I was thinking about. I'm like, all right, Atlanta's a direct flight from Syracuse. I'll make it down to Cards HQ. So I have every intent to go, but the day after was very much like I went to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I was very,
Mhm.
very tired, but very worth it in the college football playoff. I mean, I was still on the field at 1 o'clock. I think it was past 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was still walking around on the field because I just couldn't really bring myself to want to leave the field. And, I mean, it was crazy. And I didn't even post all the pictures yet that I took, but I like you see all the pictures of the guys holding up the newspaper and the guys holding up like Ohio against the world and all that stuff, and you're like, wow, who takes those pictures? And this time around, I actually got to take some of those pictures, and I will be releasing those. I've kind of held on to some things. I'm going to be writing something about my experience. So, but I was right up there, right by the stage, and got to touch the giant logo of the college football playoff, and definitely like a lot of people in the media, I may have taken some confetti and streamers home with me.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody.
Yeah, I may have. So, but no, I mean the game was good, and I do want to make this, and this is not an excuse. I just kind of want to let it be known because it was something I caught, and I think I said it to you. Riley was sniffling before the game, so I think he may have come down with something going into the college football playoff because people are like, oh, he got sick on the field and this and that. I don't know if it was like jitters. I think that, he might have been under the weather because he seemed to have had a cold when we were doing media day. So, that was something that I was
Yeah.
paying attention to going into it. But hey, they made it a game down the stretch. 4:44 left. It's 31-23. I mean, it's still a game. So, I commend them for coming back the way that they did. But, Ohio State, they're just home run hitters, and they made some big plays. And I got to give some credit to Will Howard, who I've loved to cover these last few weeks, and I've gotten to talk to him in the games I've covered him in. And Will, there was a play that he had that I just absolutely loved, and it was a showcase of how well he was able to pick apart a defense. As he rolled out to the right, and I believe it was it was in the first half. He rolled out to the right. They were by the red zone of Notre Dame, and he went to run, but still had his hand up. And so they thought like, okay, he's going to run with this ball because he's not seeing anything. And he stepped forward, got three guys to come toward him, and then just tossed the ball over for a touchdown. And it was that wherewithal of saying, like, they don't know what I'm going to do, and his trust in himself and in his teammates that he was like, okay, if I do this, if I decoy, somebody's going to get open, obviously, if they cheat toward me, and then I'm going to trust myself to get this ball out quickly. I got to give him credit because plays like that, those are NFL plays when you can kind of read that defense and then go to say like, okay, I'm going to run and then back up. And as these guys are cheating towards you to go, okay, that's what I needed is for you to think I'm running. And now you
Mm-hmm.
opened up somebody in the end zone for me. So, I mean, I give a lot of credit to what he's done. And I hope that an NFL team will give him a shot.
He probably made himself some money in these last 4 weeks by getting doing well in the college football playoff. So he probably earned himself some money. I don't see him being higher than like a fourth or fifth round pick, but even still, you know, could be a Stetson Bennett situation. Somebody takes him round 4 or 5, and maybe gives him a shot if there's an opening or something. It really depends on what team that he gets picked by. That's gonna be the big one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But happy for the college football playoff. Happy that we saw what 12 looks like. They're going to tweak it. They're going to look at it. They had commissioners down there meeting for college football playoff meetings and other meetings going on in Atlanta around the college football national championship. So we'll see what it looks like as we step forward. If they go 14-16, if they change the highest ranked this and highest ranked that, are they going to have the conference champions highest ranked or just the 4 highest ranked teams? We'll see how they tweak that. The powers that be that are representing that committee for the college football playoff, they were discussing before the game that this seems like a very fluid situation. It doesn't sound like, hey, we like this idea, we like that idea, we don't like this, we don't like that, but we're stuck until 2036. It sounds like, hey, every year we're going to be able to take a look at this and decide what we want to do with it. So it seems like whatever the verbiage is as far as legislatively it goes, that they have some wiggle room in what they want this to look like if they can agree on it. So hopefully, whatever we have stepping forward, I mean, obviously 12 has been good and it's been exciting. And Ryan Day said it. He's like, we're running an NFL schedule now. And he said, he's like, these kids aren't going to class. Like, you're planning for a game and a few days later you're planning for another game. Like, this is an NFL schedule. So speaking of that, Murph and I are going to get to the NFL right after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Murph said his heart wanted one thing, mine too, and the other thing ended up happening. We're going to hear from Murph if a first down's actually a first down right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Make your way out there for new and used vehicles. Their vast array of vehicles to choose from include the Ridgeline, the HRV, my favorite, the CRV, as well as the Prologue, the Pilot, the Civic, the Accord, and more. You could find new and used vehicles at Great Lakes Honda City, and you could check out their inventory by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. Let them know that DT sent you their way. As promised, Murph's going to let us know what he thought about a 4th and 1 keeper by Joshua Allen. And they say that on the screen that the yellow is just an estimation, right? It's just an estimation. But I'm gonna set the table here and then let Murph give his thoughts. So the yellow line, here's Josh Allen's head on the yellow line. Here's the ball, clearly over the yellow line. Enough, right? The tip of the ball, it's over the yellow line. Well, I've never in my life watched a football game. I've watched many football games for a very long time, since I was a kid. And I've never seen a game where an official comes running down the line, an official comes running toward him down the line, and an official comes from the perpendicular over to the field or over to the play, and the three of them look at each other, talk to each other, look at the ball, look at each other. Then we go to commercial, and nobody signaled anything. And then you come back from commercial, and they go, oh, they said it was a turnover on downs. They said it was Chiefs' ball. Now they're going to see if they're going to overturn it. And I said, nobody signaled. Not a single official had signaled, and they went to commercial. So, Murph, I asked you the question, have you ever seen this before? 1. And 2, was it or was it not a first down?
No, I don't think I've ever seen this before. It was a very strange situation. And second of all, you're damn right it was a first down. He had the first down by probably almost a full yard. At least a foot, at least half a yard, at least a foot and a half. I don't know what they saw. I don't know what the hell they were looking at. It was a first down. Without a shadow of a doubt, it was a first down. Also, by the way, there is no chance Xavier Worthy caught that ball. 2 things. Number 1, he wasn't the one that had it in his hands when they went to the ground.
Right.
Number 2, the ball hit the ground.
Right.
And jarred it loose.
Right. They talk about, does the ball survive the ground?
What are we talking about here?
Right. They asked if the ball survived the. I mean, the question is always, did the ball survive the ground? That's what you hear officials say, and it didn't. But when you see the hands go up, defender holds the ball, or the defender catches the ball. Xavier has no catch on the ball. He might have his hand.
I didn't even think he had a hand on the ball yet.
But he doesn't have the ball. You can see that the ball's in the defender's hands. Defender comes down, ball pops, hits the ground, the tip of the ball hits the ground, then they tussle, and as they're going to the ground, Xavier Worthy finally gets a hand on it after the ball had touched the ground, and he's already on the ground, and then they were essentially ruling it, well, they weren't ruling this, but the only way that he could have had possession is if it was a fumble, which it wasn't. So the confusion of this is a catch. And what did they say? They said if it's between a defensive and offensive player, and they're trying to figure out who caught the ball and they both have hands on it, that the ruling always leans toward the offense. The problem is that the offense didn't touch the ball before the ball touched the ground. So it's like a very weird, and again, is there irrefutable evidence for a play like that is so unique? No, but it sides with the Chiefs. And then the 4th and 1, it sides with the Chiefs. And then the mystery flag on Dalton Kincaid, the last-ditch effort by Josh Allen to throw the ball down the field. There's 3 guys around Kincaid. He dips to try and catch it. He doesn't catch it, and a flag came out. And then that flag mysteriously went away, which has made some believe that if Kincaid had caught the ball, the official was going to throw a flag on Buffalo to essentially make sure that the catch couldn't have been a catch, which further push, and people that are watching this morning that are Chiefs fans or whatever, they're going, oh my gosh, conspiracy theory. Watch the games. Again, just like with unfair in the rankings, I tell people this, whether you love it or hate what I'm saying, watch the film, look at the research, watch it. Like the Chiefs, if you watch the Chiefs and you watch them this season, you watch a 4th down play early in the season by Pat Mahomes, team was down, he throws a pass, it hits the field, nobody around the ball, game is over. Flag comes out. It's like game is over, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi flag. So
You're not talking about the Cincinnati game, are you?
it was one of those two games. It was like week.
Because the Cincinnati game was definitely PI.
No, there was one where the ball literally dropped. Nobody was there.
So I don't think it was the Cincinnati game.
No, the
then.
ball dropped. There was nobody there. And it was like, okay, Pat Mahomes threw an incompletion. Other team gets the ball. They're going to kneel it down. And then a flag came out. And you're like, where did that flag come from? Who is it on? So the reality of the Chiefs getting what I like to call Michael Jordan calls is a real thing. But when you look at the fact that Kincaid didn't catch the ball and a flag came out, and then the referee picked up the flag, and you can watch it on television, it says flag, and then all of a sudden it disappears. There was no explanation
either.
There's no explanation for the flag. There's no reasoning for the flag. So between the 4th and 1, the flag, and the ball didn't survive the ground, but they decided not to say that during that play, it just makes you sit here and think about reality, which is if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you have to beat them by more than 8 points, because you have to beat them by more than one possession so that the officials can't overturn that possession.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's crazy.
You know, I look at, and it's not the first time, obviously, this season that this has happened.
Right.
There have been controversial calls, and every single one of them goes the Chiefs' way. Every single one. The Bills beat them in the regular season because they beat them in the regular season.
Yeah. Yeah.
They beat up on them in the regular season. There is no doubt in my mind that Buffalo was the better team. No doubt in my mind. But the Chiefs, again and again, continue to be bailed out by the refs. Worthy never had a hand on the ball. Not only that, the ball didn't survive the ground. It doesn't matter that he ended up with it at the end of the play.
Right.
Allen clearly had a first down. It seemed like every time that Kansas City, and the play, people forget, the play before, Dalton Kincaid should have had a first down. And they gave him a terrible spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
What are we doing here? There were at least 3 times during that football game where Buffalo got terrible spots and it cost them. It did.
Yeah.
Now, the mystery flag, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. Simply because there was no explanation. If they had said the flag dropped out of a pocket, there was no flag on the play, or they said, the flag was going to be for offensive pass interference, but since he didn't catch it, it doesn't matter. All right, that's fine. But at least give us an explanation.
Yeah.
Come on.
The flag was an insurance policy. If he caught the ball, pass interference on the offense, holding on the offense, what?
Patrick Mahomes, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Right. And here's the other thing. Why are they airing Super Bowl commercials with the Chiefs during the Philly game and during the Kansas City Buffalo game? There was a Doritos commercial.
It's freaking rigged.
Right. I mean, they were doing a Doritos commercial interviewing Super Bowl teams that have been to the Super Bowl. No Tom Brady, no Rob Gronkowski, no Bryce, literally nobody, no Brock Purdy, no Christian McCaffrey,
Peyton Manning,
no Peyton Manning, no Eli Manning. It was, we're interviewing people that have been to the Super Bowl, and it was just the Chiefs sitting around the table eating Doritos, getting set for the Super Bowl. And what's the logo of the Super Bowl this year? Red and green. So now we're back to that.
I thought we got over that last year.
Well, you know what? Because last year was purple, and so people were like, "Well, the Ravens didn't make it, so here we go." But what is it, like 4 out of the last 5 years or 5 out of the last 6 years, the colors match? And so it's just a very weird thing. Now, listen, I don't want to believe that the NFL is the WWE. I have no desire to believe that Roger Goodell is another version of Vince McMahon. But you get to a point where some people are like, the Chiefs get these calls, and you go, okay, well, you're a Ravens fan. And, well, the Chiefs got this call over me, and you're like, all right, you're a Bills fan. Oh, well, the Chiefs did this, and you're like, okay, well, you're a Bengals fan. And then you realize when you have no dog in the race, and, I'm a Jaguars fan in the comfort of my own home, so I'm just watching this game, and I'm saying, okay, I've seen stuff that people are like, that's this and this is that. And I'm like, maybe. Then I see something and I go, yeah, that feels like it is. And as time goes by, again, I'm somebody who follows the bouncing ball. I looked at the research and I said, okay, that looked like maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. That seemed like just a crazy fan maybe was saying that at first. And then I got to a point of this game going, yeah, when it comes down the stretch, why does my brain tell me if it comes down the stretch and there's a couple minutes to go, there's no way you're going to beat the Chiefs? Why does my brain say that? And so we watched it. And that 4th and 1, that was a turnover on downs, the Chiefs scored on that drive. So, it's you sit here. Yes, they have to score. Yeah, they got to do this and that. But then I'm going to play devil's advocate and say to the Bills, why the hell didn't you keep running the ball? It was working.
That too. Yeah. They couldn't stop the run. Why did Josh Allen not start running the ball until the 4th quarter?
Right.
James Cook was running all over them.
Right.
What are you doing? And also, for the record, I was sitting in a bar watching that game. After the 4th and 1 play, I'm sitting there. I'm like, ball don't lie. Like, Buffalo's getting a turnover here. Like, mark my words. Obviously, they didn't. Yeah. And I'm watching this whole thing unfold, and I'm like, ball don't lie. Seriously. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Chiefs go up again, and they end up winning the game. But you knew full well when Buffalo gave the ball back to the Chiefs that it was over.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 minutes left or so after they scored, they give it back to the Chiefs. You knew it was over.
It was too much time.
Mahomes doesn't give the ball back in that situation. Ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all they needed to do was get 2 first downs, and they did exactly that. I am sick of the Chiefs. And what sucks is I gotta root for them in the Super Bowl. I hate the Eagles more than I hate the Chiefs.
Okay.
So I got to root for them in the Super Bowl. I wish both of these teams could lose, but I got to root for the Chiefs because I can't stand the Eagles.
Yeah.
And their fans. And for the record, Eagles fans are the scum of the earth. They are in Commanders fans' faces as they're leaving the link on Sunday, stealing their hats, starting fights.
Yeah.
For what? Your team won.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Celebrate with the rest of your fan base. The people that went out in the streets and partied, that's great. Good for you.
Yeah.
Do not take it out on the opposing fans. If you lost, okay. If the opposing fan is being a jerk and you lost, I don't condone violence, but at least it's justified. Well, not justified, but at least you can understand it. Your team freaking won. They did the same thing when they beat the Vikings to go to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. They did the same thing 2 years ago. Why do you think we hate Eagles fans? Because they will fight people after their team wins for no reason. They will fight opposing teams' fans. They will ridicule opposing teams' fans.
Yeah.
When the opposing team's fans are just trying to leave the stadium and ignore them and go home because their team just lost, they get ridiculed and they get cheap-shotted for no reason. What I love about that, though, I was in Philly for a Mets-Phillies game in September.
Yeah.
Mets lost. My buddy and I are leaving the stadium. We're getting, heckled by Phillies fans. And I said, Wait till October. That was my response. Wait till October. What'd they do in October? Knocked them right out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we were in the faces of Phillies fans. But we weren't fighting them. Right? They ignored us. Okay, whatever. They got up and left. That's fine. We didn't go after them. We didn't run after them to fight them. When they got up and left, that's fine. They took it like a champ. Oh, great.
Yeah.
They were being annoying the whole game. We, got in their face when we didn't really get in their face, but we were getting on them when we took the lead and when we won. And they got up and left. We didn't go after them. We didn't, try to fight anybody. We just enjoyed the fact that our team won. Celebrated with the rest of the Mets fans. That's what you should be doing. Not taking it out on innocent people that just came to try to see their team go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They lost. We know that. Game's over. Don't be going after them and fighting them and stealing their crap and trying to provoke a fight for no reason when your team just won. Go celebrate out in the streets with the rest of your fans.
Yeah.
As you should. Your team just went to the Super Bowl. Enjoy it. Right? Good for you. Nobody is taking this away from you. Well, except the Chiefs when they kicked their butts in the Super Bowl. But anyway, no one is taking that away from you. Enjoy it. But don't take it out on the other fans. Also, I am sick to death of the Empire State Building lighting up for the Eagles. Or for Philadelphia teams in general. It's New York. We hate Philadelphia. You never light up the Empire State Building for anyone else except the Mets, the Yankees, the Giants, the Jets, the Knicks, the Nets, the Devils, the Rangers, or the Islanders.
Syracuse.
That's it.
Syracuse.
And Syracuse.
They do.
Buffalo Bills.
do.
Buffalo Bills is fine.
They lit it
are
up.
a New
They
York
lit it up for
team.
Ohio State too.
But I don't like that. I don't know why the Empire State Building insists on doing that. It's New York. You light up for the New York teams.
Well, here's a question.
When your teams do good. When the Yankees went to the World Series, I'm pretty sure they lit up the building.
Well,
as they should.
Here's the thing.
As much as I hate the Yankees, it's a New York team.
But if the Yankees lost to the Phillies, you know what I mean? I feel like if they lit up the New York State Building, people would want to set it on fire. It's
I would have.
I
would have.
That to me is,
and I hate the Yankees.
Yeah, but I feel like in that
I can't
case,
stand the Yankees.
Like, do they break their own rule and be like, okay, if the Yankees go to the World Series and they lose to the Giants, are you going to light it up orange? I mean, I feel like the fans are right there; they're going to want to go nuts. But to your point,
so let's imagine. Sorry to cut you off there, but let's imagine this. Let's imagine that the Giants played the Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And the Jets played the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Each team's biggest rival. Are you going to light the Empire State Building up for the other team? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my
There's
question
no
is,
chance in hell you are doing that. If the Giants were to win and the Jets were to lose, you're lighting it up in blue.
right. Well, my
Because
question
the Giants won. Vice versa, you're lighting it up in green because the Jets won.
And my question is, would they, is Philadelphia ever going to light anything up if the Yankees beat them?
No.
So, you know what I mean? Are you going to light up the Rocky Steps blue and white if the Yankees beat you?
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree.
When has Philly ever done anything good for New York?
Right, exactly.
Actually, there's one thing they did good that was good for New York. Stop being the United States capital.
Yeah. Well, and so Philly, right, to go to what you were saying, and we know that Murph doesn't like Philly, but Philly, I mean, it is the city.
I was near Philly the other day, and I was hated it.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I was in Hoboken, New Jersey, could see the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Greatest city in the world, baby.
But I will tell you all this, and as we get ready to have Lauren on the show, I will tell you all this really quick, okay? fans of opposing teams should be able to come into your stadium and not be verbally abused or physically abused, taunted, have anything thrown at them, any of that, okay? People that have never been to an Eagles game don't, they don't think that they can wear their jersey. I mean, I joked with somebody yesterday, but really not joking.
Scared to go to a game,
right? But really not joking. I was like, if the Eagles play the Giants and you wear a Cowboys jersey to the game, and they're not even playing the Cowboys, I don't even know if you should do that. And there should be no stadium or arena or place on the planet where you can't support the team you love out of fear. No decision you should ever make in your life should ever be out of fear. Fear is the devil's tool. It is not God's tool. And fear is essentially just a way of stopping you from being who you truly are. You should be able to go to any arena, anywhere in the world, wear what you want to wear, and not have beer thrown on you or be sworn at or taunted or get in a fight. So not just to the Eagles fans, to every fan that's out there, let people be people. Let you be you, and follow the one thing in the Bible that is really simple to follow. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Eagles fans, if you lost, would you want people taunting you and following you and taking your hat and wanting to get in a fight with you and trying to push you so that you could get in a fight because they just feel the adrenaline right now? No. Bills fans, would you want?
No, they would have fought somebody else.
Right. But the reality
That's what Eagles fans do.
The reality of it all is that nobody should go anywhere. High school, college, pee-wee, pro, anywhere. And feel unsafe to wear the team that they want to wear, cheer for the team they want to cheer for, as long as everybody does it respectfully. And if you win, win with grace. If you lose, lose with grace. Everybody wants to get home safe. Nobody needs to go home with a black eye. Nobody needs to go home and be suicidal. So just remember, you won. But winning a game, which is happy and beautiful, does not turn into beating somebody up in the parking lot. There is no this plus this equals this. Okay, you won the game, you lost the game, go home. Be happy, be sad, go home. And I feel bad that even I say to myself in certain arenas, well, I can't wear this jersey if I go there. And I'm a broadcaster. I should not have to feel that way. You should not have to feel that way, folks that are watching and listening. Love who you love, support who you love, and just be good to each other and have respect for each other. There's no reason not to. There's every reason to. And you ain't going to get to heaven beating somebody up in the parking lot because your team won. So, with that being said, Murph, as always, I appreciate it. Now we know why Murph only lets me get cheesesteaks on the outskirts of Philly. Shout out to Max's, and I look forward to talking with you.
You like that cheesesteak, though, right? That was a good cheesesteak?
When I've talked to people that have given me names, Ishkabibbles and Max's keep coming up, so apparently we went to a good one in Max's. So
I guess we did.
Yeah. So with that being
said, those were the ones that the locals were telling us, right?
Max is one of the ones we found. They were saying Ishkabibbles that's one that keeps coming up, but Max's has been good. Heard good things. Tried it. It was good. Continue to hear people tell me to go to Max's. So happy that we.
Max's was a good location though, because I think if I remember correctly, Ishkabibbles was kind of out of the way, and Max's was like on the way home, which I think that one worked out. Yeah. But that was in a very sketchy area.
It looked like a part of town that had been bombed. So it was definitely a very unique part of Philadelphia. However, Max's was wonderful, and it was definitely worth eating on the way home and then going to dinner. So with that being said, for Murph,
I kind of wish I would have gotten the steak sandwich from there. I really do. Murph.
Listen,
that's okay though.
Yeah, if you're gonna
and honestly, yeah,
it looked like a war zone. If you're gonna go through a war zone, the least you could do is eat a cheesesteak, which is what I did. So, with that being said, Murph.
And honestly, I wish, obviously Fishtown is this week. We're going to miss it because I got, all these different work things going on. But, hopefully when we have some more time, later in the year, we'll be able to hit up another one because that's a really fun card show.
Yeah. Yeah. Fishtown is great. We love it. Much appreciation, much respect to the promoters for that. As always, Mr. Murph, I look forward to talking with you soon. And we will speak next week. Probably have a unique time next week, but we'll figure it out. And we'll talk with you from there.
Yep.
But thank you for being a part of the show today, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yes, sir. I know it's a weird day, but glad we can hop on for a few minutes.
Yeah, happy to do it. Take care, buddy.
See you, buddy.
See you. Coming from Murph here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. You're used to having DT and Murphy come to you on Mondays, but this week we had to ad-lib a little bit with Murph's schedule, and we're able to get him on here today. And speaking on getting somebody onto the broadcast, we thank you for your patience as we got set here to have Lauren Kuzma here on the show with us, returning to the broadcast on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here in this Bearcat Breakroom, having the opportunity to speak with the Binghamton University Bearcats weekly student athletes, coaches, and administration all throughout the year in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the Binghamton University Bearcats. So with that being said, Lauren is going to be picture-in-picture with us momentarily, and there she is. So with Lauren Kuzma here with us on the broadcast, she is one of our recurring Bearcats. So you can use this, Lauren. You can go out there and tell the other student athletes that you've been here before, so you know what it's like. Hi, welcome back to the show. Happy to have you, and happy to be able to spend some time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first and foremost, I'm going to read off some accolades for the senior meet and let everybody know what you did, because I definitely appreciate it. I know you're going to be humble with this, but you tied for first in the 50 breast. You won the 400 IM, and for those that don't know, the 400 meter individual medley race, you won that, and you set a pool record in the 200 breast, beating your own record, and that all coming just a little while ago. So congratulations on that, first and foremost.
Thank you.
So how are you? You're very mellow today. We got to get excited, Lauren. I mean, you're the one that's got the. Did we not talk about when you first came on the show that the men's team thinks you have the most energy? The women's team necessarily thinks you have the most energy as well. I mean, they said you're the one who. Did you lose your voice, or you're known for losing your voice at some of these meets?
Yes, I did lose my voice, if you can hear it a little bit. But yeah, we've had a long morning. We had 6 o'clock in the morning practice, so I am a little mellow, but I'll get my energy back in a little bit.
So, yeah. So you got in the pool early today, 6 o'clock in the morning. Is that your typical schedule of getting in there, or is that just certain days?
It's certain days. So for second semester leading up to champs, Jerry wants us in the pool a little bit more in the morning to do more yardage, and then also in the afternoon. So Tuesday and Thursday mornings, the guys and the girls, we each swim for an hour.
Okay. So you had to get up at what, 5?
I got up around 5:25, 5:30 to go over.
And that is the beauty of having something close by. That is the beauty of having facilities. So you got in the pool this morning, out there doing your thing, and I mean, obviously you're a Division I athlete. There's a lot of seriousness to this, but when you get in the pool in the morning, is there a part of you that just kind of goes back to being a kid? Do you let yourself kind of just feel the water and say, yeah, as much as this is serious, as much as, this is something in a quest toward, winning a championship, do you still allow yourself to be like, I love this, I love being here, I just love being in the pool? Do you let yourself have that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not a morning person, so it is quite difficult to get up in the morning. But I think the best part about it is being with my teammates, especially in the morning with the girls. And, we're all tired and, we're like, oh, we got to get in the pool now, and the pool's cold. But once we're in the pool and, we're going through practice, and I like to have a good time with whoever's around me in my lane. So it kind of brings me back to swimming when I was a kid. And, being around my friends was the best part.
So for you, that excitement, that fun that you've had this season, what can you say to your favorite memory up to this point? Is it what I just named off here and all the things that you got to do, tying for first, getting first, setting a pool record, or is there another moment that kind of sticks out to you?
No, I think all of those moments have obviously been great moments during my swim career, and I really, in the moment was so happy. But I think some of the best moments was last year at Champs, like when the boys won Champs. That was really exciting for everyone, and just watching like the girls win the two medley relays last year at Champs. That was also really exciting. One of my favorite memories of swimming. And I have plenty of more memories from club swimming in high school and growing up swimming in my town. But I think in college, the championship meets and us like cheering for each other really sticks out to me.
Has there been anybody at any of the meets on the men's or women's side that has been able to be at your level when it comes to willing to lose their voice?
I think definitely a lot of people get really loud
Okay.
and cheer, which is awesome. Um, I think some people have lost their voice, but I just am prone to losing my voice. I have no idea why, but I love to be loud and cheer, and I mean losing my voice is part of that, which is okay. But it'll be back in a few days, ready for the next one.
Yeah,
But
and as you talk about, I mean, we look at this swimming and diving sweeps the senior day meet, and it wasn't only you; it was your teammates as well, and just in general, it was Binghamton men's and women's swimming and diving putting on a great show. What can you say to that? Because you've had a lot of success. You know, you've obviously had a bunch of success in this senior day meet, but to look at the team as a whole and say we did this together, what was that moment like for you for the senior day meet to see that it wasn't just individual, it was just a team coming together and just taking over the pool essentially.
right, yeah, seeing that was amazing because we went against Marist, and Marist is a great team, and they have great swimmers. And I think, going into the meet, we're like, this is a meet that, could get really close or could come down to the end. Like, you have no idea how people are going to swim that day. But the guys and the girls, how we performed, it was just amazing to see, especially the senior meet. It's all like the seniors last meet, and we really wanted to come out with two wins. And to be able to, watch Harrison on the boys' side, he got a pool record. He was swimming his events. He went like so fast in all of his events, close to his best times or his best times, which is crazy. And Maria, she was also so close to pool records and she swam fantastic. There are so many people who did so well, and it was just really great to see.
Here with Lauren Kuzma here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios for this edition of the Bearcat Breakroom. Lauren, you know, you've been on the show before, like I said, and we've gotten to talk about a bunch of different things. But what is your driving force? Do you go back to something in your life where you can pull that energy? Like when you have a down moment, when you have a, you know, mentally you're beating up on yourself, or this you know certain event didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Is there something that you pull from that has been like a consistent mantra or memory or prayer or something that you say, this is how I reset myself?
Yeah, so I would say I think back to there has been like two times during my swim career where I really thought I was going to give it up and not swim anymore. And I think from that, I look back and I'm like, if I didn't swim anymore, then I wouldn't have accomplished all like the goals I've set for myself and everything I've done, which is everything and more that I could have dreamed of me doing. So I think I take that and also like my family members. When I'm having a down day, I really like to call my parents, call my mom, and say like this hasn't really been my day. I'm really upset, and just talking to them kind of makes me feel better and get into that mind space again where I can do this and to believe in myself. So I think using like the support of others around me and also like knowing what I'm capable of doing is where I take that the most and use it to do better in the pool, get myself back on track.
And you said there was a couple times that you can remember that you really just felt like giving it up. Why in those moments?
Yeah, so it was both my sophomore year of high school and my sophomore year of college. I wasn't in a great headspace. I was very down on myself, lacked that confidence and that ability to, swim very fast and get myself going in the pool. And I wasn't performing well. And I knew I could do better. I knew I could be better. And I wasn't seeing that. And I would say that 90% of it was my mentality.
Okay.
And I was completely, lacking confidence, negative self-talk, telling myself like, oh, you're never going to be able to do this. And just not great mind space. But after I kind of got through that and worked myself through to teach my mind to be kinder to myself, it really flip flopped. And I came back both my junior year of high school and college having fantastic seasons.
And you said that you went into that negative self talk and that you were able to flip it and be positive toward yourself. What went into the negative self talk? Was that just outside noise? Was that just you being too hard on yourself? What was that?
Yeah, it was definitely me being too hard on myself. I mean, my family and my friends and coaches I've had, they've never really put that, pressure on me to be like, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that. Or, if you don't win this race, like it's usually me because I'm very competitive with myself and I put a ton of pressure on myself that maybe I shouldn't. So I kind of learned to reel that back and let myself enjoy swimming again and enjoy the moments with my teammates and, my family. And I think a big part of that went into the senior meet this past weekend. I had like over 20 members of my family who came and surprised me, which was awesome. And I really wanted to do so well for them. And my mom was just like, hey, listen, whatever you do, whatever happens, we're really proud of you. You've made it, this far in your swim career and you have a month left. Like, just enjoy the moment. And that's exactly what I did.
I love hearing, like you said, it was you that was doing it, but it was you that brought yourself out of it. You had your support there as well, like you said, physically and overall. How did you transition yourself out of it? Sophomore year high school, sophomore year college. How did you turn the negative talk into positive talk? Because you're living at a time, Lauren, where I feel like you and other student athletes are blessed, because when I was a student athlete and I was playing in high school and got recruited to play D3 in basketball, there was no mental health. There was nothing about mental health. It was suck it up. For a guy, unfortunately, they would always say don't act like a girl, which I thought was completely ridiculous. And I've actually flip-flopped that to I do a thing called play like a girl, and then you talk about all these amazing women in athletics, because playing like a girl is actually a compliment in my opinion. But it was figure it out, suck it up, get over it, you're being stupid, you're weak. That was how people spoke in my direction. If you weren't mentally strong, they said it's just because you're weak or you're too sensitive. You live in a world where there's mental health awareness, there's mental health aids to student athletes. How did you flip the negative to the positive, from negative talk to positive talk for yourself?
Right. So, yeah, we are so fortunate to live in a time now that mental health is very much aware. There are a lot of resources that, are put in place now at universities and outside of school that people can, look into, which is fantastic. And we're very fortunate to have that. So using those resources, my sophomore year of, college especially, I, talked to my parents and I was like, hey, listen, I think it's best if I kind of venture out and use a resource outside of like, family and friend support, and use someone that completely doesn't know me at all to help me get myself back on track. And that's exactly what I did. I, to this day, I've been talking to someone to get through that, negative self-talk and the lack of confidence I have and putting too much pressure on myself. And it has completely changed my mindset for the, for the best, for swimming, academics, every part of my life, it helps me. And I could not be more grateful for that. And I think, the hardest part is kind of telling yourself, I think I need some help and I think I need to, look for resources for myself. And after I did that, it was probably the best thing I could have done for myself. And I'm really glad that I did it, because I was in that mindset of, you're fine, like, be mentally tough, you can get through this.
Yeah.
And I did get through it, but I just needed some more help.
Yeah, and I bring it up, and I appreciate you being so open and honest with it, because we could have somebody watching right now, Lauren, that is not positively talking themselves, is letting a lot of that in. What would you say to somebody that's watching? I mean, you've had success, and we look at it. People can go to your bio on binghamtonbearcats.com and see all the beautiful things that you've done. But beyond that, you're taking care of Lauren. Out of the pool, in the pool, you're taking care of Lauren. What would you want to say to somebody that is watching and listening? We have people all over the world that pay attention to the show by the grace of God. So if they're watching Wake Up Call right now, what do you want to say?
I would say to anyone watching this that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out for help and support when you most need it. And it's not you being weak, it's actually the opposite, you being resilient and strong. So that's what I would say for someone watching who needs that extra little, push or guidance towards some help.
I love that. Well, Lauren, I'm happy that you took the steps that you needed to take for yourself, and that is hopefully giving you a more fruitful life in the pool, out of the pool. Are you having more fun now that you're being Lauren even more so, and you've really just loved the skin you're in? Do you feel like being in the pool is more free?
Absolutely. I feel like the last 2 years of college after that sophomore year, place where I wasn't at my best, I've had so much fun. I've had so much fun at practices and meets and, really living and enjoying the moment that I'm in instead of, beating myself up if I didn't have the best race. And everyone has their days. I mean, I'll say 2 weeks ago we went to Wagner right off a training trip. We had a meet and we were all really tired, beaten down. I didn't have my best meet. I was somewhat upset with myself because of it, but I kind of took everything into perspective and said, like, hey, we just got off training trip. We're all really tired. We were in the airport at, till 1 o'clock in the morning when we landed in Newark. Yeah. And I put all that together and was like, this is just one meet. It's not, it's not the worst thing in the world. And you have one next week. So focus on that.
So to you, what's been fun about this ride that you've had, this intense at times, exciting, voice losing moments? What has been for you, how would you describe kind of this journey? Because there's more journey to be had and there's more to do here for you and your team. But how would you describe your personal journey in the pool and in the classroom at Binghamton?
Yeah, I would say it was definitely a learning curve at the beginning, freshman year. Um, I came into Binghamton wanting to be a nurse, and I majored in biological sciences to keep myself on track to apply to accelerated nursing programs, which I'm actually doing right now. And, balancing that, a hard major with swimming was definitely very challenging at first. But I think the most important thing was, making the friends on the team that I've made and using them for advice and guidance was really helpful. And having that atmosphere and having the team actually really helped me a lot because you had like 60 automatic friends, and especially with the girls team, like we got really close and making, friends and similar majors and going to class together and, on difficult days or bad days, you always had a friend with you. It was great. And then I think, as I got older, I kind of learned my way around and, learned better time management skills with school and swimming and learn, how to take care of myself and get enough rest and all that. So I think, being on the team ultimately really helped me adjust to college, which I'm very, very grateful for.
And so what is your hope with your professional life with this major that you have? What would you, if you could pick any job, help anywhere, what would be that thing that you want to do?
Yep. So I've had a dream of being a nurse probably since 8th grade, 9th grade. And I would really love to work in a pediatric hospital. I love working with kids. I always have, whether it came to like babysitting my little cousins or babysitting my neighbors. I really think that I would do well in a pediatric hospital and, being able to help kids who are sick and, hopefully see them walk out of the hospital doors, I think that would be, I could do that for the rest of my life and look back and be like, I'm really, proud of that. So as long as I get into a nursing program and continue to do that, I can't wait to see what's ahead with nursing.
And you said you wanted to be a nurse for such a long time. What drew you to it?
I would say my grandma was a nurse and my aunt is currently a nurse. So I think talking to them about it growing up and, seeing what went into it and what they do and what they get out of it, I was just drawn to it. It was amazing. And I also was always interested in school in, bio and, if anyone on the playground like fell off or got a cut or, broke their arm or something, I was like the first kid to be like, oh my gosh, let me see, like what happened? What happened? Like, what can we do? And I've always had an interest in it. So I think having like family members in the profession and also, in the classroom, being interested in those bio classes and all of that really pushed me towards it.
And you said, pediatric, you want to help kids because you loved helping people in your family, out of your family, growing up, and just having that experience. For you, why will that be enough? Like you said, helping it just to see kids specifically, and I think it's a beautiful thing because they're the future, right? And a lot are helpless. They're not making decisions for themselves, obviously. So for you to say, I want to be in nursing, it's so rewarding, I want to help people, but then to say, I want to do this with kids. I really just want to do that. I fell in love with it when I was a kid. I want to keep doing that. What is it about children that just makes you so excited, energetic, and kind of willing to do whatever you can? What is it about that world of helping children that just really speaks to you?
I think, when I was a kid and I would see like someone else, like I said, get hurt or get sick, I'd always be so upset. I'd be like, we're so young, we're supposed to be going outside and going on a playground and going to school and having fun. And I think that sense of them like being so young and, especially for kids who are sick or, come into the hospital who get hurt, like I want to be that person to help them through their journey and give them any sense of happiness or fun that they can get even if they're like sitting in a hospital room. I want to be that nurse in person who makes a kid laugh when they're about to get a shot or just any sense of like fun that I could bring and see that and see that light up on a kid's face would mean the world to me. So I think a lot of that, like a child being so young in a hospital, it's such a sad concept to think about.
Yeah.
But if, someone could brighten their day, like I'd love to do that.
Lauren Kuzma, giving us a lot to be thankful for in this very positive message. Bearcat Breakroom for Binghamton Swimming and Diving, student athlete here in the 2024-25 season. Lauren, you know all about this, but it's time for us to play rapid fire. You get to ask me the first question. What do you got?
Okay. Oh my goodness, I forgot about this. I had questions ready last time. But if you could go back and watch any sporting event, any year, any game that you could like teleport yourself to, what would it be?
I would go back to the 2003 national championship for Syracuse. I still remember it vividly for my hometown. My dad was sitting in the chair. We are always in the family room. My dad was sitting in his recliner that we had for like a million years, and he was sitting there in silence. My mom was standing, and I was kneeling in front of the television as I normally do because I played basketball growing up. So, people are like, are you kneeling like you're going in? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. And so, like, I'm right by the TV, and my dog, Shady, who passed on, she was next to me on the carpet. And I just remember when they won, when Hakeem Warwick blocked the shot, and the game's over, I turned and looked at my dad, and my dad just started laughing. like he was just amazed, and he smiled and he was like, "What?" And then my mom, my mom is more to swear, but like she swore in a positive way. So she was behind me, and she lit up. My dog's like, "What are you people doing?" And I just remember being on one knee looking at the television, thinking to myself, like, how is this real? And, my city. I mean, the world knew my city that day. And, I come from Syracuse, New York. To me, it means the world to me. And to, somebody else, it's not a big enough city. People would tell me growing up, it's not New York unless you're from New York City. So, I think just having that pride and then seeing that moment and thinking like the little guy won, because I've been treated like the little guy my whole life. So, that really meant a lot to me, that like my city and I have a lot of similarities. And when they won, it was like a reminder from God, like, hey, you're from little old Syracuse, but little old Syracuse just won a championship. So why doesn't, Dan go do his thing and keep showing the world what little can be in a big way? And so, yeah, I'd probably go back there. My question...
That's awesome.
Thank you. My question back to you, I think we talked about food last time, Lawrence. I'm going to stay away from food. So my question to you, okay, so this is an interesting one. I've never asked it before until last night, but you got two athletes. One athlete you can give an all expense paid trip to. Like you can take this athlete and send them anywhere in the world. What athlete do you give a trip to be like, thank you for all you do? And what athlete do you throw into a Shark Tank?
Okay. I would say I would love to give an all-inclusive vacation. I'd probably say to Lily King. She's a breaststroker, swim in the Olympics, has very much of a winner's mentality, which I've looked up to for years, being a breaststroker myself. And I'd love to like sit down with her wherever we go on the all-inclusive with some good food and ask her, her experience growing up as a swimmer and how she got her mentality to be such a winner's mentality, and really just like how she works in the pool. I think that would be awesome. The athlete I'd throw in the Shark Tank, I think I'm saying this because we just watched the Bills lose to the Chiefs, and I'm a Giants fan, so we did not have a great season. We haven't had one in a while, but I was really rooting for the Bills because we have a ton of kids on our team that are Bills fans. So I would have to say Patrick Mahomes. I really don't want to see him win another Super Bowl. I really hope, but also being a Giants fan, I don't want to see the Eagles win. So it's really a lose-lose here, but I have just seen enough of Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, so I think I would put him in the Shark Tank.
Well, I'm going to ask you this because I know the pool obviously has motion to it. It's liquid, it's water, but first downs aren't supposed to be liquid. Was that a first down by Josh Allen in the game? Did you watch it?
Yes, I did see like a part of it because I actually ended up not even watching the game because I think I would have been too mad. But I did see a clip of that play, and I think absolutely should have got the down. And the refs were making some pretty poor calls.
So, all I'm saying, world, is that is coming from the swimming world to football, which should let them know even more just how egregious that was. Your last question for me, Lauren, what is it?
If you could only, I'm gonna ask a food question now.
Okay.
Eat one like a dinner meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Boy, I need one thing for dinner for the rest of my life. What would it be? Probably. Oh my goodness, so many things flash before my eyes. Nice to know if I, like at the end of my life, food is what flashes. But I thought of chicken. I guess it would have to be chicken because I thought of grilled chicken, barbecue chicken, salad. And so I guess it would be chicken because I could do different things to the chicken. But yeah, I thought nachos, salad, barbecue, just straight up grilled. It would probably have to be chicken because I I love chicken. I love shrimp too, but yeah, I'm gonna say chicken because that's where my head
All
went.
right.
Hmm. My question back to you, Lauren. You know what? I want to go to food. I'm going to food. We're gonna do food. So so I want, it's a two-parter. Hopefully I don't think I asked you this one before. But one food you can't live without, and one food that when you go into the grocery store, you say to your friends, like you're so angry about it that you pick it up and you look at them and you go, "Why did someone make this?" So I want to know the food that you can't live without, and I want to know the food that you literally are like, "Why? Why? Why is this here?" I want to know those both.
Okay. Food I cannot live without, I would say definitely a Long Island bagel. I went home for Christmas break and I think I had a bagel almost every single day. And I think anyone in my family could say that when I am eating my bagel, like they're like, you eat it like someone's about to take it away from you. Like
Oh,
I wolf the bagel down. I'm like, that was the best thing of like ever. So I would definitely say I cannot live without bagels. And I think for the food that I really, really, really genuinely don't like, I would say tomatoes. I do not like tomatoes in my pasta. I don't like tomatoes on a sandwich, on a burger, nothing. Every time, like, if a restaurant messes up my order and, I originally asked for something with no tomatoes and they put tomatoes in it, I will, like, hand pick out all of those tomatoes and be like, absolutely not. I am not eating a tomato. So that is something in the grocery store I would walk up to, look at it, and be like, why did anyone ever make a tomato?
I can agree. Being Italian, I don't like okay, sauce is sauce, whatever you crush them up, but I don't want. I am the same as you. If I get a salad and you put a tomato in my salad, I will find every tomato and I will rid my salad of those tomatoes. So I agree wholeheartedly. And I remember the last time that we talked that we spoke about Long Island bagels because I am an egg everything. I am a cinnamon raisin walnut cream cheese. The only place in the world I get cream cheese is on Long Island or in that vicinity. And I know that bacon, egg, and cheese is one word. It's bacon, egg, and cheese. So I did learn a lot of things down there. I'm not surprised that you ate a bagel every day on Long Island because if I were you, I would have A, had one every day, and B, would have eaten it like you, like someone was trying to take it from me in jail. So once I totally understand. Do you have a favorite that you get?
Favorite bagel? I love getting egg everything bagels. They're so good, and I love putting egg, cheese, and avocado on it. Um, Sometimes with a hash brown, which makes it really good as well. But yeah, I would say my go-to though is usually a sesame bagel.
Okay. All right. I heard egg everything by both people that are on the screen right now, which is the correct answer, Long Island. So with that being said, Lauren Kuzma here, who would throw Pat Mahomes in a Shark Tank to prevent him from winning another Super Bowl, and who knows the right food to get. Binghamton swimming and diving in the spotlight here, as they should be. Continue to watch and support Binghamton Athletics as well as Binghamton swimming and diving on the men's and women's side. Lauren, congratulations on everything that you've done personally
Thank
and your
you.
team as well. And give my best to your family and my best to your Giants in finally drafting a quarterback and maybe trying to figure this thing out.
Oh, I hope so. I hope they get a good draft pick.
Well, take care of yourself. Thanks for the time today, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you.
All right, take care. That coming from Lauren Kuzma once again here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Wonderful story. And, can you ask for anything better than that? Somebody who talks about the importance of mental health, the importance of seeking help, not thinking you can do everything in life by yourself, being open, being strong, being honest, and then wanting to spend the rest of her life helping children get out of hospitals and go enjoy their lives. Can you ask for a better story? I can't. So, thank you, Lauren. And thank you to the Kuzma family that raised such a wonderful soul that wants to brighten up other people's lives. It's pretty special. It's very special, and it means a lot. We'll take a step aside here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We'll be back with the ingredients to success. Stay with us.
That we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to, surprise our...
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McNerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees, and as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in 2007, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There's a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allowing customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servomation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water water machine, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean-to-cup coffee machine. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I could tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And it is now time, speaking of time, to have the ingredients to success, which we bring you every Tuesday right around 10:50 a.m. Eastern Time to round out our Tuesday broadcasts of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. The ingredients to success, proudly brought to you by the terrific family at Avicolli's. And of course, you could find them by going to their wonderful location on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York. Heading off to Avicolli's now 7 days a week, as they are open on Mondays now. So you can get them 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and drinks. Of course, drink responsibly and only if you're of age. 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. That's Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road. You will find Avicolli's for you with fantastic food, from their veal parmesan to their margarita pizza to the grandma's pie, which I think that's the best grandma's pie I've ever had. To me, that's grandma's pie. Somebody else goes, hey, we can get some grandma's pie from this place. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Avicolli's. 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. Today's topic for the ingredients to success is the energy you let in, which I find interesting here because we were just talking about mental health with Lauren Kuzma of the Binghamton University Bearcats swimming and diving team. The importance of, how you talk to yourself and this and that, and all those things that we got to discuss with her, which are absolutely wonderful. Well, going off of that, the energy that you let in. What type of energy, folks, are we allowing into our lives? Positive energy, negative energy. Who are we surrounding ourselves with? What are we surrounding ourselves with? The energy you let in. Very, very important to look at something like this, folks, because we don't always think about this, right? We don't, oh, okay, I'm around this person and they're always negative, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm not like that. I'm not taking that in. But over time, you are. I consider the people that you're around and the energy that they give you. It can either be like soot that is just dirtying your clothes, or it can be like a cloud, right? Something that lifts you up, something that's light and airy and good, right? So the energy that you surround yourself with, it can be that positive, uplifting energy, or it could be that soot, right? It can be that stuff that kind of gets stuck on your clothes and you can't shake it off, right? It just kind of becomes a part of you, a part of your clothing. So I want you to sit and I want you to think right now as we talk about this, ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, about the energy that you're letting into your life. When you're around people that make fun of you, do you let that energy in? Do you stay around it? When you're around people that are negative and pessimistic and always complaining, do you take that in and allow that to become part of you? Do you ever sit there and wonder sometimes, like, man, I was such a positive person. I just left. I was out of town. I felt good. I was, going around. I was thanking God for everything. I was talking to God. I was appreciating, like, everywhere I went to visit, everything I got to do, and it just felt so great. And then I came home, and then I was down, and all of a sudden I got in a rut again. Well, what are you allowing into your life? What energy is coming in? That's a question. I am not immune to this. Lauren and I spoke about, she's not immune to it. None of us are immune to life. Life happens. Life is sometimes feeling great. Sometimes in life we're feeling stressed. Sometimes in life we're feeling kind of down, confused, frustrated. Why me? But have you ever been in a situation where you're like, wow, man, I was in this downtrodden negative energy, and then I got into that positive energy, and then I got back into that negative energy. What was different? Your mindset. Because you're the same person. Well, on vacation, I'm a different guy. No, you're not. I'm still Dan. You're still you. Yeah, but on vacation, I am just different. Because you allow yourself to be happy. Because you allow yourself to relax. See, we think we're different people, but we're not. We're just channeling different energy. We're channeling different things. When you're on vacation, you're away from the hustle and the bustle and the stress, but you have to go back to that. So you say, well, it's the vacation that made me this way. It's the sun that made me this way. Well, I've been happy on rainy days. I've been happy on cloudy days. I don't really care what day it is out there today. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to relax with my dog. I'm going to enjoy my life today. I've already said to myself, you're going to do something nice for yourself and you're going to relax with Lily. Because you were traveling, doing a ton of stuff, and when you came home, you hit the ground running. So now I'm going to give you a little break. Not that you're not going to work, not that you're not going to do this, this, and this, but I'm going to give you the chance to take a breath. So I asked myself, when I'm down in Atlanta, it could have been stressful. I'm staying at this hotel. I got to get over here. I got to go do this. I got to make sure that this is done. When I fly in, I got to get right to my Uber, because when I get to the Uber, I got to get to the hotel. And when I get to the hotel, I got to drop my stuff off. When I drop my stuff, and because I got to get over to the interviews and That could have been crazy, but I was peaceful. Why? Because my mental focus was, thank God, my mind and my heart were saying, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, that I am down here covering the national championship. I cannot wait to do these interviews. I can't wait to see my buddy Riley Leonard. I can't wait to have some fun. I respect Ohio State. I respect Notre Dame. I can't wait to experience this moment in my life. And that's what I was focused on. So it didn't matter that I had to get my credential and that I had to put my bags down and I had to do all these things. It seemed like easy tasks, but I had to do them all quickly because my earliest flight that could get in was putting me right there. I was going to miss a little bit, but not miss everything if I did everything efficiently. That could have stressed me out. And then I come home and it's like, well, I don't have to do anything today. I just got to do the show. And then I got an appointment. And then I don't have like a show later tonight. I don't have a game I have to go to. I don't have anywhere I have to be. I can just relax with my dog tonight. So why is this day more stressful than the day where I was flying, where I was driving, flying, Uber, then, trying to catch this, trying to catch that, trying to get over here, never been in these places? Why was that less stressful? Because my mindset was different. My mindset was, I'm so excited that I get to do this. I'm so excited that I get to go out here and I get to have fun and I get to just enjoy, this opportunity. I was so focused on the fact that I was so happy and blessed to be there. So here's my charge to you and my charge to me. When you're on vacation and you're just so happy to be there and you're just so happy to relax and have a great time, and you're not focused on anything else but just enjoying the moment because you're not going to be there. I know the college football playoff is going to come and it's going to go this season. If I don't enjoy it, it's going to be over. The champion's going to be standing there on the stage and it's going to be done. So I have a finite amount of time that I have to enjoy this because then it's going to be done. Why don't we live life like that? You got a finite amount of time that you're going to be living, so why not enjoy it? Well, Dan, I'm going to enjoy when I go to an event. I'm going to enjoy when I go to a concert. I'm going to enjoy when I go to a game. I'm going to enjoy when I go on vacation. But in my normal life, what is there to look forward to? And I kind of just don't really care because there's no finite amount of time. I don't think we necessarily enjoy a vacation because it's the sun and the beach. I think we enjoy the vacation because something in our brain says we have 5 days to enjoy this and then it's gone. So let's be as positive as we can. Let's be as kind as we can. Let's have as much fun as we can because we only have this amount of time. What if we treated every day like it was a beach? I only have this amount of time in my day. I only have this much time to enjoy this. Because we're not all going to do something crazy every single, you know what I mean? It's like, eventually you got to come home. Eventually, you got to take your shoes off. Eventually, you got to take a shower, and you got to sit down, and you got to have some food, and then you got to go to bed. You know? So, how are you spending the time that you have? Because it's easy to put good energy into something that you know is a short amount of time. But think about the relationships that we live in these days. When they say relationships are great in the beginning and then they kind of just putter out. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because these people don't care? Do you think it's because they're not attracted to you anymore? Do you think it's because, they just lost everything? Or could it be that everybody can get excited about something for a short amount of time? It's easy to get happy for a small window. It's easy to do that. And I think that what we find in relationships these days is everything feels good in the beginning. Everything's good in the beginning. Why do you think there's people that can't commit, right? They have fun with you for weeks and then they break up. Why do you think that is? And then you see them dating somebody right off the bat, dating somebody new, and then a few weeks later they break up and they're dating somebody new. Why do you think that is? Because they're not looking for the right person. They love the feeling of new. They love when you first get in your car and it smells new and it feels new and everything about it is new and you're looking around it. But when you've been in that car for 3 years, all you're thinking about is, I got to brush the snow off this dang thing. I got to get to this place. I got to pick up my kids. I got to do this and that. Was that tire got enough pressure in it? And you're just annoyed. You don't even care about the car. You're like, it gets me from point A to B. But when you first got in that car, you're like, man, this is my first ride. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud I can afford this. I got the car I wanted. I got the color I wanted. I took pictures in the driveway. And then 3 months later, all you're thinking about is the snow and the hustle and the hassle. Why don't you get in the car today and say, Jesus, thank you that I have a vehicle. Thank you that I have a way. See, we don't care. A lot of times we don't care about our car until our car don't work. And I'm using car specifically to talk about a car, and I'm also using car as a metaphor. We don't care about our car until our car don't work. Right? We don't care about our body till our heart ain't working right. Right? I can put whatever I want into my body. I can do whatever I want to do to my car. But the moment one of them stops working right, well, now I'm going to care. Right? I can love up my kids and spend a ton of time with my kids on vacation because daddy's not working. But when daddy go back to work, now my kids don't have their daddy no more. They never see me. I'm always downstairs. I'm always locked in a dungeon till 11 o'clock at night. They go to bed at 7. But on vacation, 5 days a year, I'm going to be a daddy. We have to treat our life the way that we treat finite moments. Because your life is going to be a finite moment on this planet. And that's not a morbid thing. That's a real thing. People die. We're all going to die. Now we seek eternal life. I would hope. I seek to live with Jesus Christ, and I seek to live with God the Father and the Holy Spirit, and I seek to live with my loved ones that have passed on and all of my loved ones someday. I do believe in heaven. I believe that it is real. I have faith. I have seen it. I had a daydream when I was 7 years old, and I could, at 39, tell you the dream and draw you pictures of it to this day of heaven, of my family members going to heaven. I can also paint a picture of my dogs and the Rainbow Bridge and the castle and where that was in a waterfall on a cloud when I saw Mordo and Cinnamon after they had passed on, when I was in my backyard of the house I grew up in and my dad's still at. Heaven is real. And, there's those songs that say, live like you're dying. right? Live like you're dying. People find out that they have a cancer diagnosis. They got 3 weeks to live. Now they're going to do all the things they want to do. Why does that have to happen? Why do we have to have somebody why do we have to hear from someone, I'm breaking up with you, in order to treat them right? Why do we have to hear you're dying in order to decide to live? How come human beings have become comfortable and complacent with, I will live when I'm threatened to have something taken from me, be it my life, be it something I own, be it someone I love? We're so willing to live when we're told that we may not have a lot of time to do that. We're so willing to put in good energy when there's finite time. But how willing are we to put in that energy when the time isn't finite? When we don't know how long we have? The energy that you let into your life is going to dictate how you end up spending your life. You let in negative energy, you will become a negative person. You let in positive energy, you will become a more positive person. You let in both, you'll be chaotic. It sounds simple, it's not. It's like a proton, an electron, and a neutron, right? Are you going to bring in a proton? Or are you going to bring in an electron? Are you going to bring in both so you're more of a neutron? How are you going to spend your days? Because when I was out of town in Atlanta, I was tired. I was getting over being sick, but I was good. I come home, I'm feeling better than I did, but my attitude's more negative. I'm not pushing myself to do this and that. I'm kind of down. I'm getting back into bad habits. I'm letting myself kind of fade away. And I'm thinking to myself, you were just down in Atlanta a couple days ago, last week. You were totally different. And you had charge of yourself. And you only let in good energy. You fought the bad. Thank you, God, for all the goodness. But then you came home and you didn't fight the negative energy. You let it in. Why? Because you're home? Why can't you make home, and I thought about this when I was a little kid, why can't you make home as good as a vacation? Well, because the weather's different, Dan. Who cares? That's weather. When I lived down in Florida and I was there every day, and you come, because why do people do that? It's not just me. When you come home, you're kind of, but then when you know you're going somewhere for a short amount of time, you're excited. When I was living in Florida and I came back to Syracuse to visit my family for Christmas, you're excited. Oh yeah, this is great. Then when Syracuse becomes your home again, you get kind of down. And then when you visit Florida, you get up. But then when you were living in Florida, you were kind of You liked it. But you also were kind of like... So you realize in your life, it's not location, it's not person, it's not thing, it's mindset. What is your mindset? You have to dedicate yourself to being happy. Dedicate yourself to realizing that the person that was just down in this city for 3 days is the same person that's living here for the other 300 plus. And that person made a dedication to themselves. I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm not going to let anybody get in my way. I'm not going to care about no negative energy. I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what people say about me. I'm just going to be me. Then you come home and you're around people that you've been around and you know they're not nice to you. And you're like, man, I'm back in the rut. Don't be in a rut. If you don't let these people get to you, don't let these people get to you. If you don't let this weather get to you, don't let this weather get to you. When it snowed in Atlanta, I didn't care. So why would I care if it snows at home? As long as I get home safely, what do I care? If it snows here, it snows there. If it's cold here, it's cold there. I told one guy, I said, I'm down in Atlanta, it's cold. Down in Dallas, it's cold. I'm in San Diego, it's colder than it typically is. People out here are like, oh, it's so cold. Who cares? I'm alive. God woke me up today. What do I care? I'm happy that I'm cold. I got heat in my house. I got air conditioning in my house. I got a bed. What do I care? Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking about the people in LA. Are they warm enough? Are they cool enough? When it gets hot, do they have a place to go? When it gets cold, do they have a place to go? Do they have supplies? Are their kids going to school? What is going on? How are they going to handle all this stuff with the wildfires? That's what I think about. Are they okay? Because it's so easy to get into your routine in your life, and no matter how much we love our lives, no matter how much we love the people in our lives, the job that we do, whatever it may be, we treat it differently by the energy we let in. We let things bother us at home that we don't let bother us when we're out on vacation. We let things get to us when we don't think that there's an end timeline, but when there is a finite time, we enjoy that time more. So you need to learn how to enjoy your life like you enjoy your vacation. You need to learn how to treat yourself well in all places at all times, and stop saying it was because of him or her or this or that or where I was, and start realizing you're the person. You make the decision if you're going to be happy. You make the decision of what energy you let in. You make the decision of how you're going to view yourself. And when you need help, seek it, like Lauren said. Strong people seek help. Egotistical, self-absorbed people do not seek help when they need it. Narcissists do not seek help. I got it. I'll figure it out. Sometimes you need help. Sometimes I don't know a question about technology and what I can use in my studio to be better, so I have to ask. Sometimes I don't know how to link something to something else, so I have to ask. I don't know what's the best computer to buy in the here and now, so I have asked. I don't know what the best route is in Atlanta because I don't live in Atlanta, so I can ask. I don't know the best place to eat, so I can ask. God did not make you to be by yourself. Now, you can be strong by yourself. God made you to be able to handle life, but he didn't make you to be by yourself. Think about God. Does he need us? He don't need humanity. He doesn't need anything. He's God. He literally does not need us. We cause him more grief sometimes. But he said, I'm going to send my only son down. I'm going to let him be persecuted. I'm going to let him die. I'm going to let him be crucified because he's going to be the bridge of me to my people. He was willing to lose his son to gain his son back through painful means so that we could have life. But he don't need us. So if God doesn't want to be at a table in heaven without us, why do you think God would create humanity to never be around each other? We're meant to be together. We're stronger together. We're better together. This country feels different when we're together. When 9/11 happened, it was a tragedy. After 9/11, the feeling that you got of everybody waving flags and being there for each other and helping each other out, beautiful. We said we would never forget. Some people did, some people didn't. We need to remember. Not remember the terrible, horrible pain, but remember that we came together. People are supposed to be together. It's not about ostracizing yourself to have good energy. It's about being smart about who you put yourself around, and when you're forced to be around certain people, having your energy block theirs. It ain't easy, but you got to learn. I'm in places all the time around people I don't want to be around, not because I don't like them, but because they don't like me and they're negative. They lie, they cheat, they steal. We're not the same people. I don't respect the way that they treat me. I don't appreciate the way that they treat me. I don't want to be around that energy. But I focus on why I'm there, what I'm there for, what I'm trying to accomplish, the dreams that I have, the people that I want to talk to. And if I focus on that and I focus on God and I focus on the good, it don't matter who's around me. Because I'm not in that room to be with you. I'm in that room to be with them. I'm in that room to be with him. I'm in that room to do my thing. Right? If every swimmer got in a pool and every year they got to swim against this one team, and for the last 4 years this person on the team always swims right next to them in the lane, always trash talks them, says bad things to them, really hurtful to them. If they think about this person's in the pool and they get uncomfortable, they're going to lose. They got to get in the pool and go, ain't nothing about this pool. I don't hear this. I don't hear that. I just see where I got to go. You got to focus on where you want to be, not about who doesn't want to make you get there. Why do you think people don't want to see you succeed? Why do you think people don't want to see you succeed? Because if you succeed, you're reminding them that you have something that they don't have. And not that they can't go get it. But see, there's people in this world that work on themselves, and there's people in this world that try and bring people down so that they don't have to work on themselves. Because if you're working on yourself and they're not, and they can tear you down, now they don't have to work on themselves because now they pulled you down to their level. Don't ever fall down to somebody's level. What did they say? Don't dim your light because other people are afraid to shine. Don't dim your light, right? You got 7 talents. Don't pretend that you got 5. Don't pretend that you have 1. You have 7 talents. Go live them. Be who you are. Do what you do. Love who you love. Enjoy your life. Because you have a finite time to enjoy it. It ain't about vacation. It ain't about this and that and where can I go. And it's about every single day waking up and saying to God, I was positive on that trip. I was positive at that event. I was positive with that person. I made that decision. When you realize that you can choose to be positive every day, your life changes exponentially, and it changes for the good by the grace of God. Here are your ingredients to success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's. I cannot thank them enough for all that they do at Avicolli's. The food is fantastic. I want to thank the Avicolli family. I want to thank John Fratto and everybody over at Avicolli's for just being simply amazing. For all that you do that you think we don't see, I see it, I appreciate it, I love it, and I thank you for it. Going to Avicolli's every month with Liverpool is a blessing. It's right down the road from Liverpool High School. You can see Liverpool if you stand at the corner where Avicolli's is. So I want to thank Avicolli's for having us every month. I want to thank Avicolli's for doing everything that you do to help us have great food, to help us have support, and to just have great people in our community. Thank you for the hospitality, and thank you for being with us on our tough days, on our great days, and on every day in between. You can go to myavicollis.com and order online. That's myavicollis.com. You can also find Avicolli's and myavicollis.com by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and clicking on the Avicolli's logo. You can also call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. And, of course, you could visit them on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, right across the street from the Bryant and Stratton Liverpool campus. Make sure you go and visit them today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and have some fun at Avicolli's. Bringing you the ingredients to success every Tuesday and bringing you plenty of ingredients to successful meals for lunch and dinner all throughout the week. With that being said, we'll take our final step aside and we'll wrap up today's show right after this. Avicolli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicolli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicolli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You will find hockey, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, and more, all on site on location while supplies last at GG Cards and Breaks, along with Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and Magic the Gathering. GG Cards and Breaks has it all. If you're a sports card collector, trading card collector, they got plenty of stuff to add to your collection. If you're just starting out and you don't really know, you're like, I like this team, I kind of like Disney, I'm trying to figure out what I want. GG Cards and Breaks, their expertise, their knowledge, their wisdom, and their care, and their hard work all come together in a wonderful location that should be, in my opinion, will be your sports card and trading card shop of choice. Josh, Anthony, Alex, Joel, the whole team at GG Cards and Breaks, can't thank them enough for the work that they do. The only place I know that has every NFL, every NBA, and every MLB team, and you could go look through those boxes and bring something home today. They have singles, they have graded cards, they have packs, they have boxes, and you never know what's going to be there because things can change in an instant at GG Cards and Breaks. So find your way over there today for your next thing to bring home or a special gift for someone that you love. open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 10 to 5 on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, I want to thank you for tuning in to our show inside the Great Lakes Honda City studios, and I want to implore you to head over to Great Lakes Honda City today for new and used vehicles, the HRV, the CRV, the Accord, the Civic, the Prologue, the Pilot, the Odyssey, the Ridgeline. Honda just makes terrific products. And I remember when I first had a Honda, my first ever Honda, my 1999, it was my mom's and she gave it to me, my 1999 Honda CRV, my first ever vehicle, and white, black trim. Love my 1999 Honda CRV. It was the car that saved my life because of the way it was built, arguably. And I can't thank Honda enough for that. Are they affordable? Yeah. Are they good on gas mileage? Yeah. On top of all of that, the way that the frame was reinforced with steel arguably saved my life and or kept me from being paralyzed when I was hit by a drunk driver in New York City. So Honda to me means a lot more than just the mileage. It's comfort, it's care, it's life-saving, it's safety. And the people at Great Lakes Honda City, from Elijah and Mark and Malik and so on and so forth, I can't thank y'all enough for treating me well, appreciating the work that we do here, and I want you to know I appreciate the work that you do too. And they have fun. We joke around here on Wake Up Call. They joke around at Great Lakes Honda City, and it's cool to see. So head off to Great Lakes Honda City today, the only place I would tell you to get a vehicle, and they are on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. They're open Monday through Saturday, and you can get more info by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. Many thanks to all of you that watch and listen to Wake Up Call on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time worldwide. And of course, once we go into the archives, you could find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, and more. All you got to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the follow button, whatever it may be on whatever channel it is. It's free to follow us, it's free to link to us, and you'll never miss a show in the archive again. Podbean alone has over 1,600 episodes, and you can get them all by going and searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora today. Many thanks to all of our partners, of course, down in the great state of North Carolina. I want to give a special thanks to the wonderful location, Brooklyn Pickle, down there in the great state of North Carolina, 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Much appreciation to them and all the work that they do at Southern Pines, North Carolina. So thank you to the Brooklyn Pickle on 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. Go visit them today. Let them know that Wake Up Call sent you their way. And, of course, enjoy the many favorites that we've enjoyed up here in Central and Upstate New York for such a long time and continue to. So head out there to the Southern Pines location right down the road from Pinehurst Golf Course, which many of you that are golfers out there know very well. Many thanks to our wonderful team of partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, as well as Servomation, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world. They're doing a big board opportunity there, a little promo there. Every $40 you spent, you get a square on the big board for the big game coming up between the Chiefs and the Eagles. But you got to get over to Ma and Pa's because it's only while they have squares left. The squares are free. Every $40 you spend, you get a free square. Get yourself over to Ma and Pa's today. You can see the video on all of our social media to get more information on it. Ma and Pa's 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Avicolli's, many thanks to them, as well as Canine Camp Dog Daycare. Mother's Cupboard, where I have my own sandwich. Go and get the Kuzma Mother. It is my sandwich. My breakfast sandwich is exclusively located only at Mother's Cupboard, 3709 James Street in Syracuse, New York, 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Bacon, egg and cheese inside of 2 pieces of French toast. Pick it up and eat it like a sandwich. Cut it up and have it with some syrup and enjoy it at Mother's Cupboard. Of course, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Canine Camp, Ground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, GG Cards and Breaks, Brian's Landing, which I just put up the lobster grilled cheese picture and put up the video of our filet marsala. If you're not getting hungry and your mouth's not watering, well, then there must be something wrong with the belly. So you got to figure that out, man, because stomachs get hungry for Brian's Landing, in my opinion, out in Jamesville, 6523 East Seneca Turnpike. We'll see you out there. The Lemoyne College Dolphins call Wake Up Call home as exclusive multimedia marketing partners with us, where sports meets life. You'll find the Dolphins student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni here with me throughout the year in Dolphin Time, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, you will find them by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Lemoyne playlist on our YouTube channel. You'll also find the Dolphins by swimming over to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, as well as on the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com and fins up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats every single month here with student athletes, coaches, and administration. A lot of breaking news and great stories that have come out of Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse recently, and they've all been carried right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora exclusively. You can find all of our content with the Bobcats, which we call the Bobcat Buzz, by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our BSC Syracuse playlist. You also find the Bobcats by going to our wakeupcalldt.com homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bearcats every Tuesday, like today, during Bearcat Time at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, with student athletes, coaches, and administration joining the show, like Lauren Kuzma today, to share their incredible stories on the fields and the pools and the tracks and the courts of life, but also in the story of Lauren and in many stories out there in the world and what they want to do, the journey that they've had, and their own personal connection to Binghamton University and their personal journey that they've had up to this point is shared right here on Wake Up Call in a way that you won't find anywhere else. And we thank the student athletes, coaches, and administration, Gene Marshall, and everybody at Binghamton University for their support. You can find them on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find our Binghamton playlist. You can also find the Bearcats by clawing your way over to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, as well as on the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Wake Up Call inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Many thanks inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin' to Brendan Murphy for joining me for DT and Murphy, which is typically every Monday, but Murph had a little change in his schedule for something that he had to do in the world, in the golf world that he lives in and works in many days of the week. So I want to shout out the work that he's doing, congratulate him on his new job. So Murph came here on Tuesday, college football playoff, NFL playoffs, speaking on that. And then we welcomed in our Bearcat Breakroom Lauren Kuzma back to the show from the women's swimming and diving team at the wonderful Binghamton University to tell her incredible story. Thank you, Lauren. And the ingredients to success, proudly presented by Avicolli's on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York. So many thanks to the wonderful team there at Avicolli's and the ingredients to success about the energy you let in. I also want to thank Pizza Man. I want to thank everybody that came out last night and everybody that watched. We had a tremendous time, and Pizza Man Pub was, it was 95%, if not more, for the event. So we had some people there eating, doing their thing at Pizza Man Pub. The overwhelming majority of everybody that was dining in last night came in for the show. Thank you to the Baldwinsville Bees boys basketball team. Thank you for the high school. Thank you to the athletic department. Thank you to head coach Tom Brown and his staff, as well as all the families of the student athletes. And a special thanks to Tiernan, MJ, and Ben for joining me on stage with Coach Brown. We had a fantastic event, and you can go back and watch those videos on YouTube and Facebook, both .com/WakeUpCallDT. For now, from the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. This is Wake Up Call. You are amazing, and you can make it through anything. Trust in God, trust in yourself, and keep that energy positive. God bless. No stress. Do your best.